I've been hunting for ChatGPT ads since they dropped in early February, like Steve Irwin prowling around the jungle, and I finally got one to show up in my conversation. So my wife and I were calculating the weight of our pasta. We were making chicken orzo, absolutely delicious, when a DoorDash ad popped up in the conversational flow, so right within the dialogue. So if you take a look at the screenshot that's overlaid, you have one headline, one sub-headline, and then an image. It's grossly simple, and I honestly love that. The goal of this is for it to look like a subtle recommendation and not necessarily a pitch. And this aligns really well with what OpenAI has been continuing to pound in advertisers' heads and in users' heads, that when you see an ad, that ad unit is not necessarily influencing the chat that you're having with ChatGPT. So really what they're trying to do is protect the integrity of the model, which I think is really important, especially as there are other LLMs out there that do not have advertising, or else their user base would probably revolt if ads became this very, very prevalent, pushy thing within the conversation. And one thing I love is that the topic of the ad itself was pretty well aligned with the conversation that was being had. So that seems like a box checked for ChatGPT and OpenAI from an ads perspective. We were having a conversation about food. It showed a DoorDash ad. I do think that based on my preferences and my wife's preferences as well, we aren't necessarily DoorDash people, so that ad really wasn't relevant to us. But I understand that her ChatGPT account didn't necessarily have tons of historical context baked into it. And I think if it did, ChatGPT might not have recommended DoorDash specifically, but maybe something else food related. So I think the takeaway here is to have a very simple value proposition if you are going to launch on ChatGPT ads when the interface is available. If they still have just these like very simple native display ads, think about, okay, what is your best performing static image that you could put in an ad? What are your best performing headlines and what are your best performing sub headlines? And then pulling those from ads that you've been running on Google or ads that you've been running on Meta that have been crushing it, because those angles are probably likely to perform well in ChatGPT as well. So definitely follow or subscribe for more below. And I'm about to go explain the Meta Andromeda algorithm update to my grandma's knitting club. So wish me luck with that.